Women hold mops, sweeping the broken glass on the ground. When she finished screwing the mop, looking at the scratched hands, she came up with an idea. And this idea helped this weather-beaten woman became a billionaire, commodity queen. The woman's name is Joey. Her marriage failed. Not only to raise 2 children alone, you have to take care of the same marriage failure. The mother who collapses in front of the TV every day. But her difficulties are far more than that. One day, Joey's romantic father was sent back by his girlfriend. Joey can't help it. I had to put my father in the basement. With her poverty-stricken, you can only rely on your ex-husband to live together. Joey therefore goes to work with emotion. Unexpectedly, it annoyed the customers. For this reason, the company wants to transfer her to the evening shift. But Joey, who still has children, had no choice but to resign and leave. She came to her father's garage. Want to help father and sister work together. But my father only wanted to make a blind date on the phone. I didn't expect this dozen. Let him find a rich widow. The other party invited the Joeys. Come to party on her yacht. A gust of wind and waves hit. Joey's glass fell to the ground. Because the deck cannot be soaked in wine, Joey had to ignore the broken glass. Clean up the deck quickly. When Joey comes back, borrowed daughter's crayons, began to draw drawings on the paper. Then she brought the drawing for father and his girlfriend. Introduced his ideas. 1. Just pull up the sleeve. A mop that can dry automatically. People can't imagine it. Joey did it himself. Weld the mop rod. Then he brought a long cotton thread. After a few rounds in the hands of friends on the mop rod, Joey succeeded in persuading the widow. Invest in her invention. The widow's lawyer went through the information, found someone in Hong Kong, applied for similar patents. After communicating with the agent of the other party, Joey, they only need to pay $50,000. You can get the complete patent of the mop. At the same time, the other party also owns a factory, can help them produce mop rods at a low price. After Joey's ex-husband heard it, think it's too good, afraid that they will be cheated. But the father and widow didn't care. It's settled on the spot. Soon they recruited a group of women workers, made mop head in the factory. But when Joey came out to sell mops, on hearing the high price of her mop, the other party refused directly. You must have seen such a mop. Just pull gently. The mop head can be dried automatically, but you must not understand. It's inventor Joey. How to become a billionaire through it. Joey came to the street, show her products to passers-by. Unexpectedly, I met my ex-husband. Then 2 policemen came over in front of her ex-husband. Get Joey and her daughter away. That night, my ex-husband found Joey, introduced her to a way. Joey passed his ex-husband's friend, met a family, Neil, an executive at a large retailer. Joey shows Neil her mop. After listening to her feelings as a housewife, Neil was successfully moved. Just let her husband produce 50,000 pieces. Then Neil took her with him, visited their promotion stage. This is a huge TV shopping mall. The salesmen are facing the camera, show the product live to consumers. At that time, 30 years ago, this is a very novel way of selling. Joey was deeply shocked. She decided to go back to producing mops immediately. But when the father and widow learned, when Joey wants to borrow $200,000 to produce, they are unwilling to pay in full, unless Joey can give half the money. Joey had to mortgage the house. The day of live broadcast, everyone stood in front of the TV excitedly. I didn't expect. The salesman didn't prepare at all, not even familiar with how to use the product. Not one of them was sold in the end. Then Neil called. The other party said it was a failure of the product. She needs to bear the loss herself. But Joey has done everything. With family and investors' accusations, Joey angrily finds Neil. Ask him to give himself another chance. Let her sell herself on stage. Neil promised her. So Joey dressed up plain on the stage of TV shopping. But when she first faced the camera, I don't know how to speak nervously. Neil is also very anxious. Fortunately, at this time, Joey's friend pretends to be a consumer. Call the scene. When talking about doing housework, because of the difficulty of screwing the mop by hand, hear a friend's familiar voice. Joey immediately relaxed. Also began to introduce their own experience and how to use this mop. Solved the problem of mopping the floor. 30 years ago, this woman played with the live broadcast and brought goods. She's in front of the camera, showing the magic mop he invented. Just pull gently. The mop head can be dried automatically. She shares her experience with the audience. The phone of the shopping center was also exploded, as the number of transactions on the screen continues to soar. Just a few minutes, she sold nearly 50,000. After Joey stepped down, Neil also came to congratulate her. After that, every live broadcast of Joey, all the previous sales records have been refreshed. But although the business here is successful, life gave her a big punch. Joey's favorite grandmother died. At the funeral, her father brought her another piece of bad news. A factory that produces mop rods for Joey. After knowing Joey's success, constantly improved quotation. And my father sent Joey's sister without authorization. Go to negotiate with the other party to solve the problem. Little does one think, my sister actually agreed to the price increase. This is unacceptable to Joey. So she flew to the factory in California herself. The factory explained to Joey, because the order quantity is too large, they open a mold every 2 weeks. Joey felt something was wrong. So for the reason of the above toilet, sneaked into the production workshop unexpectedly, but unexpectedly found the other party should own its own patent. After the incident was exposed, the other party called the police. Take her in the name of trespass. Fortunately, her family released her on bail. Original. When Joey and the other party, there are loopholes in the contract. when Joey pays the patent protection fee, has lost the ownership of the patent. Now Joey is heavily in debt. Mop cannot be produced due to patent dispute, facing heavy pressure. Although Joey is in pain, but still didn't give up. She cut herself a crisp short hair, studying the contract day and night. Finally, she found a turning point. Joey came to Texas, found the agent who signed the contract at the beginning. Original. Joey contacted the Hong Kong boss of the agent. The other party didn't know about Joey. In other words, the agent embezzled it. Patent fees paid by Joey. Joey can be charged with fraud at any time. Charge him with embezzlement. Besides, Joey also found that own patent and the patent of the other party. It's not the same thing at all. Facing Joey's pressing step by step, the other party finally succumbed, promised Joey a refund, and paid double compensation. That's it. This strong woman step by step, start with a mop, created a kingdom of daily necessities. The business scale even exceeded Neil, who supported her before, and the successful Joey. And never forget the original intention. Whenever there are young people, when I came to show her my invention, she'll be serious, receive them respectfully, because she knows these young people in front of me, it's who I was.